Good morning, students. How you all are? Hope you all are well. In today's class, we are going to start a new chapter from the book Hornbill. Chapter 4, Landscape of the Soul, written by Natalia Troveri. So, first we will discuss about the title, basically landscape. Okay, in this लेसन इन दिस चैप्टर लैंडस्केप इज़ अ पेंटिंग. बचपन में हम सब एक पेंटिंग करते हैं वे जहाँ पे हम एक पहाड़ बनाते एक रिवर बनाते, दैट इज़ लैंडस्केप. ओके, एंड ऑफ द सोल मीन्स अबाउट ब्यूटी. सो इन दिस चैप्टर बेसिकली वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द पेंटिंग ऑफ अ लैंडस्केप. एंड दिस chapter is we can say that it is divided in two parts. The first part is written by Natalia. She is an European art historian. Okay, and in this chapter she had made a beautiful comparison or a contrast between between painting of West and the painting of China. Although this chapter is little complicated, but at the same time very interesting. So students, we will start this chapter. A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Daozi, who lived in 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned. Commission means normally it means started, but here it means ordered by the Tang Emperor Zhuang to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind a screen so only the emperor would see it. For a long while the emperor admired wonderful scene, discovering forest, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in an immense sky. Immense means huge sky. Men on hilly path, birds in flight. So basically, the first part we will discuss an old tale, and this tale is from China. And this tale is about a painter, Wao Daozi, who lived in 8th century. And his last painting, okay, this story is about Wao Daozi's last painting, and this painting was a landscape. As we had already discussed that landscape means the mountain, rivers, everything, every feature of a nature. Okay, so this landscape was ordered by an emperor Zhuozang, and the painter had made that beautiful painting to decorate a palace wall. So the master, what he did, he had hidden his वर्क बिहाइंड अ स्क्रीन. इसके पीछे का रीज़न ये था कि वो एम्प्रर, वो किंग चाहता था कि वो ब्यूटीफुल पेंटिंग को सिर्फ और सिर्फ वो किंग ही एडमायर कर सके. सो जब भी किंग को फ्री समय मिलता था, जब भी उसको रिलैक्स होने का मन करता था, वो उस ब्यूटीफुल लैंडस्केप की पेंटिंग में ब्यूटीफुल फॉरेस्ट को, हाई माउंटेन्स, वाटरफॉल, क्लाउड्स, इमेंस स्काई, मैन ऑन हिली पाथ, बर्ड्स, ये सबको देखकर वो काफ़ी रिलैक्स फील करता था. लुक सायर, said the painter, in this cave at the foot of mountain dwells a spirit. Dwells mean to live, रहना. The painter clapped his hands. The entrance of cave opened. The painter, the inside is splendid. Splendid means very important. Splendid beyond anything words can convey. Please let me show your majesty the way. The painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him. And before the astonished मतलब आश्चर्यचकित, astonished emperor could move or utter a word. Utter means to speak. The painting had vanished. Vanished means to disappear from the wall. Not a trace of Woodhouse's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in the world. So, as we had already said, that it is an old tale, and the first half of the tale, it is realistic, where a emperor had ordered to make a beautiful painting, है ना, beautiful painting of a landscape. So the emperor was enjoying that painting. Then suddenly one day what happened? The painter, that means Wardowsy, he said that in that same painting, in that painting of a landscape, means in the foot of a mountain dwells a spirit. मतलब वो पेंटर बोलता है कि उस पहाड़ के फुट में एक स्पिरिट रहता है. एंड देन वॉट पेंटर डिड, ही जस्ट क्लैप्ड हिज हैंड, मतलब उसने ताली बजाया. एंड व्हेन ही क्लैप्ड हिज हैंड, एन एंट्रेंस टू केव ओपनड, उस केव का जो एंट्रेंस था वो ओपन हो जाता है. एंड देन वॉट द पेंटर डिड, द पेंटर एंटर्ड द केव, and as he entered, what happened? Again the door closed. The emperor was astonished. He was not able to understand what had happened. Then what happened? Vanished. What all things? That painting, Wardowsy and his brush. Everything was vanished. Means ये जो पेंटर था, वो पेंटर क्या होता है, वो उस पेंटिंग के अंदर चला जाता है, उस केव के अंदर चला जाता है उस पेंटिंग के थ्रू. एंड वो पेंटिंग क्या है होती है, वो पेंटिंग भी डिसअपेयर हो जाता है, वो केव और वो पेंटिंग भी डिसअपेयर हो जाता है, वो पेंटर भी डिसअपेयर हो जाता है. सच स्टोरीज प्ले एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन चाइनाज क्लासिकल एजुकेशन. क्लासिकल मीन्स ट्रेडिशनल एजुकेशन. द बुक्स ऑफ Confucius and Zhuangzi are full of them. They helped the master to guide his disciple in right direction. Beyond the anecdote, basically anecdote is a short story or short comment. Okay, they have deeply revealing of the spirit. So our narrator is saying that as we had just discussed a story about painter Wardowsy, it is little unrealistic, but such stories है ना, they are basically part of China's traditional education. So although we found that the first part of the story, that is okay, that is believable, but the second half of the story, where the painter claps, then a wall opens, the entrance opens in the cave, the painter enters the painting, and he disappears with the painting. This part was little unreal. Contrast this story or another famous one about a painter who would not draw the eye of a dragon he had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting, with an old story from my native Flanders that I find most representative of Western painting. So in the first half of the chapter, we had seen a story about a Chinese painter. So one more story narrator is saying, and this painter है ना, this painter never draw eye of a dragon. मतलब ये पेंटर जो है वो ड्रैगन को तो बनाता था, बट ड्रैगन की आंखें को कभी नहीं बनाता था. ही नेवर पेंटेड द आइज ऑफ ड्रैगन. The reason was that he was scared. He was feared that if he will draw the eyes of dragon, it would fly out of the painting. So you can see that the Chinese painting and the painters or the stories which are related to Chinese art, they are little unrealistic. So now narrator is saying that Flanders is a place in Europe. She is going to present few stories and few techniques of painting, which is basically Western painting. Okay, and this paintings from the or painters or stories from the West, they are contrast टू द स्टोरीज ऑफ द चाइना. दैट मीन्स दोनों में काफ़ी डिफरेंस आपको देखने को मिलेगा. सो नाउ वी विल स्टार्ट द स्टोरी फ्रॉम द वेस्ट. In 15th century, Antwerp, it is a place in Europe, a master blacksmith called Quinston Metals fell in love with a painter's daughter. The father would not accept a son-in-law in such a profession. So Quinton sneaked into painter's studio and painted a fly on his latest panel with such delicate realism. Delicate means very soft, realism means real, that the master tried to sweat. Sweat means to hit it away before he realized what had happened. So basically, in this story, there was once a blacksmith. He fell in love with a painter's daughter, and now that great painter, he does not wanted that a person who is a blacksmith, he should be his son-in-law. He was against his this love. He never wanted that his daughter should marry a blacksmith. So that blacksmith, what he did, he entered the painter's studio and he painted a fly. उसने एक मक्खी की तस्वीर बनाई एक पैनल पर. पैनल मीन्स in this panel the painter was making his painting. In that painting he made a fly, and it was with delicate realism. That means वो एकदम रियल का फ्लाई लग रहा था. that कि जब वो पेंटर वहाँ पे आता है, that master came, he tried to hit that fly, but after some time he realized that what had happened. Quinton was immediately admitted as an apprentice. Apprentice means those person or those who take training, okay, into his studio. He married his beloved and went on to become one of the most famous painter of his age. These two stories illustrate what each form of art is trying to achieve: a perfect illusionistic likeness in Europe and essence of inner life and spirit in Asia. So in the second part of this paragraph, our narrator, she is again making a contrast between the paintings of West and paintings from the Chinese. As we have seen that the painting which the Wu Daozi and one more painter, that what they were painting, it was quite unreal. जैसे कि अगर हम उस लैंडस्केप के बारे में बात करें जो कि वो डॉजी ने बनाया था, अगर उस पेंटिंग में अगर हम देखेंगे तो देर आर सो मैनी थिंग. देर इज़ माउंटेन, देर इज़ रिवर, एंड सो मैनी फीचर्स वर देयर. एंड इन दैट पिक्चर द थिंग इज़ दैट हाउ यू व्यू दैट पेंटिंग. जैसे कि सबका देखने का नज़रिया अलग अलग होता है. वह एम्परर भी इस पेंटिंग को अक्सर देखता था, बट ही नेवर नोटिस्ड अ केव इन दैट पेंटिंग, अ डोर इन द केव, a entrance in that cave, or a spirit who dwells in that painting. It was upon the imagination of painter. In the same way, if you look at the other painter who never drawed the eye of that dragon, even it was about the total imagination of painter and the imagination of viewer. But अगर हम वेस्ट के जो स्टोरी थी उसके बारे में बात करें तो इट वॉज विथ डेलिकेट रियलिज्म, है ना, वो एकदम रियल लग रहा था. बट एट द सेम टाइम द चाइनीज़ पेंटिंग, इट वॉज इल्यूसिनेटिक लाइकनेस, मीन्स उसमें कुछ स्पेशल चीज़ें थी जो छुपा हुआ था, विच वॉज नॉट क्लियर. सो दिस इज़ द डिफरेंस between the paintings in the West and the paintings in the China. That means the paintings from the Europe, they are very clear, very realistic, but the paintings which are from Asia, there is so much story hidden in that painting which only the painter or the viewer can understand. In Chinese story, the emperor commissions a painting and appreciates its outer appearance, but the artist reveals to him the true meaning of his work. The emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, but the only artist knows the way within. Let me show the way. The Tao, it is a famous theory that how universe originated, especially in the China. जैसे कि हर एक कंट्री का कुछ अपना स्पेशल थ्योरीज होते हैं अबाउट द ओरिजिन ऑफ यूनिवर्स. सो दाओ इज एन थ्योरी ऑफ चाइनीज अबाउट द ओरिजिन ऑफ अर्थ. A word that means both the path or the method and the mysterious work of universe. The painting is gone, but the artist has reached his goal beyond any material appearance. Okay, so what narrator is saying that in Chinese story we had seen that the emperor who had ordered to for the painting, he was able to see the outer appearance, that mountains, rivers and everything. But what was the true meaning of this work? It was only known to the painter. So in this way, there is very imagination in the Chinese or the paintings from the Asia. Then narrator is talking about the Tao, that means path or the method, which is basically a theory about the origin of universe that we will discuss in the coming paragraphs. A classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view, as would a Western figurative painting. Figurative means real. So again, narrator is saying that the Chinese paintings, okay, they are not having an actual view, but the paintings from the West, they are very real, true and original. मतलब जो दिखता है, that is the painting. You know, you need not to put any imagination on that painting. Whereas the European painters wants you to borrow his eyes and look at the particular landscape exactly as he saw it from a specific angle. The Chinese painter does not choose a single viewpoint. Again, the narrator first he had said one difference, that the Chinese painter they have actual view and the paintings from the West they have figurative painting. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. That the Chinese painting, okay, they are not giving an actual view. They are giving something fictitious, but the paintings from the West they are very much figurative. Then in the next part, narrator is saying that means the paintings of the West they have exactly the same thing what they have drawn that you can see, but the paintings from China or Chinese paintings they have different viewpoint. We have seen that the viewpoint of emperor it was different from the viewpoint of painter Wu Daozi. His landscape is not real one and you can enter it from any point, then travel in it. The artist creates a path for your eyes to travel up and down, then back again in a leisurely movement. Leisurely means relaxed. This is even more true in the case of horizontal scroll. Horizontal means top to bottom, in which the action of slowly opening one section of painting, then rolling it up to move on to the other, adds a dimension of time which is unknown in any other form of painting. So, in this part, narrator is saying about one more type of painting style from the China. It is said that horizontal scroll. इसमें क्या होता है, जो पेंटिंग है वो हॉरिजॉन्टल बना हुआ रहता है और जैसे जैसे वो मतलब ये जो पेंटिंग है एक रोल करके पूरे एक रोल में रहता है और जैसे जैसे वो थोड़ा थोड़ा ओपन होता है एक एक सेक्शन ऑफ पेंटिंग जो है वो सामने आता है. सो मीन्स जब भी थोड़ा थोड़ा पेंटिंग दिखते जाता है, तो व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ जो पेंटर है वो क्या होता है, वो चेंज हो जाता है. सो दिस इज़ वन मोर टाइप ऑफ द पेंटिंग. It also requires the active participation of the viewer who decides at what place he will travel through the painting. A participation which is physical as well as mental. The Chinese painters does not want you to borrow his eyes. He want you to enter his mind. The landscape is an inner one, the spiritual and conceptual space. Conceptual means abstract. Okay, so what narrator is saying that, as we had seen one more kind of Chinese painting, that is horizontal scroll, जहाँ पे पेंटर जो है वो धीरे धीरे करके पेंटिंग दिखाता है. एंड द मेन इंटेंशन ऑफ सच पेंटिंग इज दैट we have to decide that at what pace we will travel through the painting. That means वहाँ पे सिर्फ फिजिकली प्रेजेंट होकर पेंटिंग देखना, दैट इज़ नॉट सफिशेंट. इवन यू हैव टू बी मेंटली प्रेजेंट देयर. और एज वेस्टर्न पेंटिंग्स में हमने देखा था, पेंटर एक फ्लाई को बनाना चाहता था, ही हैड मेड दैट फ्लाई, और जब मास्टर आया उसको वो पेंटिंग भी एकदम रियल लग रहा था. दैट मीन्स द viewpoint of the painter and the viewer, it is same in the case of western painting, but in case of Chinese painting one has to borrow his eyes, है ना. You have to enter with your mind in that landscape, then only you can understand that about the spiritual and the abstract space of the painting. So I hope you have understood all those things, and for today's class I think this much is sufficient. We will discuss the next part of the same chapter in our next class. Thank you, students.